Good morning, student. Today's my video lesson is on solution and subtopic is solubility. So friends, what do you mean by solubility? So solubility is the maximum amount of a substance, you can write, or solute dissolved in a specified solvent, right? Maximum amount of solute that dissolve in a specified solvent, this is called solubility, and it depends on first one, nature of solute and solvent. Second one is it also depends on temperature, and third one is pressure. Right? Now we see solubility of a solid. Solubility of a solid in liquid. Friends, some solid dissolve in particular solvent, but not all. Actually, it depends on a popular theory is there that you have seen in previous class, like dissolve like dissolves like. That means polar solute dissolves in polar solvent, as for example NaCl dissolve in water, and aqueous solution of NaCl is prepared. Here both are polar. NaCl is polar because it has positive and negative. Polar compound is there. This one also polar because it has partial negative and partial positive. Right? Similarly, second, non-polar solute dissolves in non-polar solvent. As for example, you can see C6H6 dissolve in carbon tetrachloride, CCl4. Both are non-polar. This one also non-polar. This one also non-polar. Both are organic compound. Or you can say wax dissolve in kerosene. Both are hydrocarbon. This one also hydrocarbon. And kerosene also hydrocarbons. Both are non-polar. So they dissolve each other. And now we see if a solid is dissolved in solvent and you add solid again and again, it dissolves. A time will come where no more solute can be added in solvent, and that stage is called saturation. So actually in saturation stage there is equilibrium exists in between dissolved salt and undissolved salt. Right? or you can say at this stage rate of dissolution. Rate of dissolution is equal to rate of, you can say, crystallization or precipitation. Rate of crystallization लिख सकते हैं, लाइजेशन. ओके, नाउ यू सी कि what are the factors in this stage, what are the factor that affects the solubility. So first one you see, first one is temperature. Temperature, कि if we increase the temperature, the rate of solubility increases or decreases. So according to Le Chatelier principle, actually it is the case of equilibrium. So definitely temperature is the factor that affects the equilibrium. So by increasing or decreasing temperature, equilibrium will shift in either direction that determine the solubility of solute in solvent. So suppose dissolution process is exothermic. Let dissolution process is exothermic. That means delta solution H, this is exo, means some amount of energy is released during the process of dissolution. In that case, increase in temperature decreases the solubility. The solubility of solute in solvent, and vice versa you can write, and vice versa. If dissolution process is endothermic, if endo, then by increasing temperature dissolution process increases, right? So I think you have these points. Now second factor is pressure, effect of pressure. So as you know, solid and liquid both are incompressible, so there is almost no effect of pressure, no effect of pressure on the solubility of solid in liquid, because both are incompressible, right friends? Okay, next, solubility of a gas in liquid. Children, you know, many gases dissolve in liquid, as for example oxygen dissolves in water, and HCl gas also dissolve in water. But the quantity of gas in liquid is very low at ordinary pressure. Now if we increase the pressure, the solubility of gas in a liquid increases. That means effect of pressure is there. Effect of pressure, as we increase the pressure of gas solubility of gas in a liquid increases. It can be explained by the following diagram. In this diagram, it is very easier to understand the solubility of gas by increasing pressure. Here you see in figure number 1 कि some pressure is applied over gas. This is your gas and this is liquid, and some of the gaseous molecule dissolve in that, and there is equilibrium exists in between dissolved gaseous molecule and undissolved gaseous molecule. Now in figure 2 you see, if pressure is increased, that is W2, W3, more pressure is there. So here we see in lesser volume more number of molecules are there, right? Per unit gaseous molecule increases, so a striking molecule over surface of water increases. So definitely solubility increases. Gaseous molecule try to enter in liquid, and another equilibrium exists after dissolution of some gaseous molecule. So on we can say by increasing pressure, the gaseous molecule dissolves more in solvent, right? So you remember this one, by increasing pressure solubility of gas increases. And regarding this, one law is there, that is Henry law. We will see Henry law. Now Henry law is there. So Henry law states the solubility of a gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas. As we increase the pressure, the solubility of gases increases in liquid. So this is the statement, and you can write another statement is there. The mole fraction of gas in the solution is proportional to the partial pressure of the gas over the solution. Suppose you have to dissolve CO2, so definitely partial pressure of CO2 is there, because it may be more than one gases. So partial pressure of individual gas is directly proportional to mole fraction of gases dissolved in solution. So you can write in this way also, the mole fraction of a gas in the solution is proportional to the partial pressure of the gas. If you increase the partial pressure of gas, the mole fraction of that gas in solution will be more. Or most appropriate statement is that the partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase is proportional to the mole fraction of the gas in the solution. So mathematically we can write, if partial pressure, let partial pressure be P and mole fraction is X, then P is directly proportional to X, where P is partial pressure of gas, and X is mole fraction of gas, or you can write P is equal to KHX, where KH is proportionality constant known as Henry law constant. One thing is there. Now we see if the value of kh, we see here value of kh, we write here P is equal to kh(x). Now you consider atmospheric pressure. P is atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure, you know. So if kh is more, then definitely x will be less. If kh value is less, if kh is more, then x is less, right? And vice versa. So friends, you know, if for different gases kh values are different at different temperature, right? So as for example, one very important question is there, कि in winter season fishes feel wetter in comparison to summer season because the kh value for oxygen at lower temperature is low, and at higher temperature is high, right? If kh value is more, then definitely solubility of oxygen decreases, right? So in winter season, you know, temperature is low, so definitely concentration of oxygen in water is more. You can see with numeral value also, at 293 Kelvin, kh value of oxygen is 34.86, and at 303 Kelvin the kh value for oxygen is 46.82. So kh value is more, then solubility of oxygen in water decreases at higher temperature, right? Now we see the graph related to Henry law. If you take two axes, this is x-axis and y-axis, this is your partial pressure, and this is mole fraction. So definitely it is directly proportional, so curve come like that, it's a straight line. So graph is plotted partial pressure versus mole fraction, right? So now we will see some application of Henry law. Applications of Henry law. First one is to increase the solubility of CO2 in soft drink. Bottle is sealed under high pressure of CO2, right? So that concentration of CO2 increases in soft drink. Second one is scuba divers are filled with air diluted with helium 11.7%, 56.2% nitrogen and 32.1% oxygen. If air containing more nitrogen is filled, when scuba divers goes under the sea, the definitely pressure increases and solubility of gas also increases. Whenever they come at the surface of sea, definitely pressure decreases and dissolved gas try to release. In this way, nitrogen bubble is formed that blocks the capillary of blood vessel, and it's a disease like that. This is bent. Divers may suffer from bends due to blockage of capillaries from nitrogen bubbles. To avoid this, air is diluted with helium. It's very important question for CBSE board. And third one is, at higher altitude, low concentration of oxygen in blood, because the partial pressure of air decreases at higher altitude. So there is a disease causing anoxia disease. It is due to deficiency of oxygen concentration in blood. It decreases the thinking capacity of human being, right? Now we see numerical problem regarding Henry law. I have taken this numerical problem. First of all, you see very carefully. H2 is a toxic gas with rotten egg like a smell, and is used for the qualitative analysis we do in laboratory, test for sulfide, If the solubility of H2S in water at STP, a standard temperature pressure, is 0.195 m. A small m means molality. Calculate Henry's law constant. So first you remember the formula. P is equal to KHX, where P is the partial pressure of gas and X is the mole fraction of gas and KH is Henry law constant, and you have to calculate KH. KH you have to calculate, and pressure is given. This is atmospheric pressure at STP, and STP you can write 0.987 bar. Okay, so X, first of all you calculate X. So here you see 0.195 m, that means 0.195 mole of H2S present in 1000 gram of water, right? So number of moles of water, this is equal to 1000 upon 18, and 55.55 mole. You should remember it. 1 kg of water contains 55.5 mole of water. Why we have to calculate this one? Because solution has H2S and H2O. So number of mole is calculated. Now you can calculate the mole fraction of H2S. So this is equal to 0.195 number of mole of H2S and number of mole of H2S plus number of mole of water. So this is equal to 0.0035. It's a mole fraction of H2S. Now using this formula, this one, P equal to KHX. So P equal to KHX and KH is equal to P upon X, and P is 0.987 bar upon mole fraction is 0.0035. Now after calculating it, it will come 282 bar. So this is the value of kh. So on you can calculate. If two things are given, you have to calculate one thing. It's very easier to calculate. Okay friends, now we see another problem. I have taken another question. If N2 gas is bubbled through water at 293 Kelvin, how many moles of N2 gas would dissolve in 1 liter of water? Assume that N2 exerts partial pressure of 0.987 bar, given that Henry law constant, this is 76.48 kilobar, right? So first of all, we have to calculate, P equal to kh(x). Now P is given, partial pressure is given, and kh value is given. So on you can calculate mole fraction of N2. So x N2, this is equal to P upon kh. Here P is 0.987 bar and here 76.48 kilobar. This is the problem. So you have to change it into bar. So now mole fraction of N2, this is equal to 0.987 upon 76.48 into 10 to the power 3, and it will come after calculation 1.29 into 10 to the power minus 5. This is the mole fraction of N2. Now you have to calculate how many moles of N2 gas would dissolve in 1 liter of water. So friends, you remember number of mole in 1 liter of water is 55.5. So you can write mole fraction of N2. This is equal to number of mole of N2 upon number of mole of N2 plus number of mole of H2O. Now mole fraction of N2, this is 1.29 into 10 to the power minus 5. This is equal to number of mole of N2 upon number of mole of N2 plus number of mole of H2O. This is 55.5 mole. Now we see the concentration of N2 is very, very small in comparison to water. So you can neglect it. In comparison to 55.5. Now number of mole of N2, this is equal to 1.29 into 10 to the power minus 5 into 55.5, right? And this is equal to, after calculation, it will come 7.16 into 10 to the power minus 4 mole, right, student? So I think you learned so many things in this chapter. Now next video is on vapor pressure of liquid solution. Okay, thank you very much.